Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Tuesday, the 10th of May 2022. What's happening around the world? Ugh, it's gloomy, isn't it? War still going on in Ukraine, and it looks like it's going to be a very long war now, I would guess. Doesn't look like there's going to be much of a short-term solution. It looks like it's going to go on for a long time as they dig their heels in. And the Marcoses are making a comeback in the Philippines. It appears Bongbong, the son of former dictator Marcos, has made a return in the Philippines. I once was in the Philippines and asked someone what they thought about Marcos. This was after Marcos was ousted, and I think Cory Aquino was the president. And he said, "Very good guy, Marcos." I thought, "Oh, okay." I didn't make any comments. Uh, just wonder why people will vote for people who will steal from them in all countries. You know, the Trump administration, Johnson in the Tories in the UK, they will vote for people who don't represent their best interests, and yet they get their votes. I guess propaganda has a lot to do with it. Anyway, let's get on with the game because it's far too depressing to think about a global situation at the moment. So this is a game of Sudoku. Tuesday is usually a very easy day. It's called medium level, but it's usually pretty straightforward and simple. So I think if you're a beginner, you can probably play this game as well. Sometimes they throw in a difficult one, but not very often. So how do we go and find the answer to Sudoku if you've never played it before? Well, we have these rows across which contain 9 squares. Unfortunately for us, that's just enough squares for us to fill in the numbers 1 to 9, 1 per box, of course, 1 per square. Then we have these columns, right? And again, there are 9 squares in the column. This column already has 1 and 5, so we're looking for 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 to fill up the rest of this column. And then we have these boxes or blocks, I usually call them, which also contains 9 squares, and the same rule applies. So we have 1, we don't have 2, 3, we've got 4 and 5, we don't have 6, we've got 7, we don't have 8, and we don't have 9. So that's what we're looking for, all of the other numbers except 1, 5, 4, 7. Got it? Right, so that's pretty easy to understand. So how do we go about finding that kind of thing? Well, okay, so here's an example. So let's examine this row across here, right? Now we've got 1, 3, 6, and 9. We don't yet have a 5, okay? So let's see where we could possibly place a 5. First up, can we place a 5 in this square here? Right, this is the row we're looking at. Let me highlight the squares. Can we place a 5 in this square? No, we can't because we have a 5 here, right? Can we place a 5 in this square? No, because this 5 blocks every other square in this block from becoming a 5. So these two squares must not be 5 because of this 5 here, right? Now we have a 5 here, so can this square be 5? No, obviously, because it's in the same column. And what about this square? Well, we look up here and we see there's a 5 in this column as well. So I'm kind of blocking down here and blocking down here like this, right? So in this row there is now only one empty square, so we know that the 5 must be placed there because there's only one place it can possibly go. And that's it. So once you've found it, you don't need to be looking again and say, or could it be something, could it be a 1 or a 2? No, you don't need to do that. Once you've found only one square where a number can go, you immediately place it because you know you have found the answer. Okay? Right, and that's it. So all we have to do now is head around the grid looking for patterns that will tell us what to do. So for example, we're going to look for a 4 in this particular block here, right? So what do? We look for, there's obviously no 4 in this block yet, so we look for 4s around the grid and see how they interact with this block. So I'll click on this 4 up here, and now you can see that, remember, this column cannot contain 4, right? So 4 is blocked from these 3 squares here. Now we only have one other 4, but it's very useful to us because when we click on, extend this across this row, we can see these 2 squares are blocked as well. So there is only one white square here, so we know that the 4 has to fit there because it can't go anywhere else. Um, okay, next up we're going to look for a 1 in this block up here. Can you find it? Okay, so when we click on digit 1, you'll see that 1 blocks across here like this, and this 1 blocks up here like this, leaving just that 1 square there. You can also use the term cell if you like. It's a Sudoku specific word, C-E-L-L, cell, as well as a box or square, whatever you want to call them. Really, I don't call them a square. It sounds like a derogatory term from a hippie. Hey man, you're a square. So maybe we'll stick to cell, as in cell phone. For those new to the channel, which is probably a few people, because Tuesday, sorry, Monday and Tuesday are very easy days for beginners usually, and so we tend to have newcomers to the channel. So welcome. Uh, Please remember to subscribe if you're in a subscribing mood. And what else can you do? What was I going to say apart from practicing? Oh yeah, I was going to tell you. I have no idea of the answer. That's what I was going to tell you. I don't know what the answer is. I have not looked at this game at all before switching on the camera, so I am playing the game live because I always do for any of these games that I play on this channel, and so sometimes it can take a long time for me to find the answer to, because I don't know what the answer is. And I seem to be having some trouble right now actually. So what I usually do is if I get stuck for some period of time, I find it's often a good idea to click on the numbers and one by one, and then see what's available, what kind of patterns are easy to see. I don't see very much there. So hold on, bear with me for a moment while I just try and find you something. I know I said this is always for beginners, right? As I said, sometimes though they put in a harder game, make it a bit more difficult. Well, I have discovered something, but it's not as easy as you might imagine. So, but all right. So, if you're a beginner, you may need to watch this more than once. I don't know, but hopefully you'll understand. Remember, we are using logic here, and sometimes we have to think forward a little bit. Okay, so I noticed that the 5 and the 7 block these two squares, right? Which means that 5 and 7 must be in these two squares. Okay. Now that doesn't help me a great deal when I'm looking for 5s or 7s. It doesn't really affect anything up here or even down here much. It means we can put 7 there, but it's not very important because we still can't place it. But what we can do then is, if we know that this is 5 and 7, it means that we know what these two squares are, because they are not 5 or 7. They must be the other two numbers to complete this block here. So that means that the missing numbers here are 4 and 6. Um, oh, actually, it's not good enough to find me the answer. I thought I'd. All right, I thought it would. I thought that was enough to give me the answer, but it's not. It means I can put 6s up here, and it means I can put 4s here. I thought I'd found a 4, but no, actually, not true, because over here we're still restricted on. We still aren't restricted much on 4s. So that didn't work. Oh dear. Well, Sudoku is like this sometimes. It can be surprising. I might have to regrade it from beginner level to medium level. Perhaps it really is a medium level puzzle. It isn't very often, as I have said several times already. during this video, but occasionally they stick one in. So I guess today could be that day, right? All right, I'm going to carry on highlighting then. So what else? Well, okay, so what I have discovered is as also a bit trickier than I need to normally do with this kind of game, right? But okay, a 3 and a 9 are in this row here. Do you agree? So when we look at this block over here, 3 and 9 block these three squares, right, across this row. So that means that 3 and 9 are in these two squares here. So these two squares can only be 3 or 9. They can't be anything else. They must either be 3 or 9 because there are two numbers and there are only two squares. So that means that 1, when we consider this 1, right, blocks down here, 1 has to be either in one has to be in one of these two squares here. Can't be anywhere else because these two squares are 9 and 3, and so because we have a 1 blocking down here, we have a 1 in here. So now if we extend this across like this, because it doesn't matter which of these two squares it's in, it can't reappear in this row, and then 1 blocking here, and 1 blocking down, and 1 blocking up. Well, we can find a 1 in that square there. So we did actually get a number after all. I was thinking got nothing, but I did get a little something. Now, is there anything else? We have to find out if there's anything else. So this is 3 and 9. So the missing numbers here are 1, which we've dealt with already, 2, which is not going to give us a number, actually. It gives us some idea, but not a number perfectly. And 7. Now we've got blocking 7 here, so that means 7 will appear in one of these two squares. And yeah, that is going to give us a number. Okay, right, so this is the highlighted squares are 3 and 9, right? And now we have 7 blocking down here, so we know that 7 is in one of these two squares here, and that is going to help us find the next number. If you're a beginner, you might not see it yet. If you've played a couple of times, you've probably already seen it. So where will it help us find the next number? Well, it's going to find the next number in this column, because right now we know this 7 blocks this square, this 7 blocks this square, the 7 that's going to appear in one of these two squares blocks this square, but what about up here? No, there aren't any intersecting 7s. So we've got 7 blocking here, 7 blocking here, and the 7 that will arrive in one of these two squares blocks this square. So 7 has to go there. And now we can carry on with our 7 blocking up here, across here, and across here. So that's our 7. Normally it's not that difficult. Normally we don't have to do this kind of gymnastics for a Tuesday game. So they've definitely made it harder than a normal Tuesday game. And maybe it's a proper medium level game for the Guardian, which is quite interesting, right? So the next thing we have to explore is what is missing from this column, because we have 3 numbers missing and we should find out what they are. We've got 1, 2, 3, we don't have 4, we don't have 5. So when we see we don't have 5, we can immediately see 5 blocking here and 5 blocking here. So we know the 5 must be in that square there. So now we only have 2 empty squares here and here. So as I was saying, I didn't get through counting all of them, but we don't yet have a 4. And the other number that we don't yet have is a 6, but now you can see the 6 blocks that square there. So 6 must go in that square, and 4 is the last number now to finish this column. Okay. Yeah, this is a really interesting game from The Guardian for a Tuesday. Normally I don't even have to pause for thought, you know, so they've definitely made it tougher today. Hmm. Okay, I'm going to go back to look highlighting digits again. Now, because I've made some changes, I can go back and look at digit 1 again because some things are a bit different now. Okay, but it's still enough. It's still not enough for me to place a 1. Nor the 2s. Nor the 3s. But I have discovered something. I've discovered that uh, 3 and 9 are in these two squares up here. Now that may be very useful to us or not, but I'll tell you how I discovered it. Yes, it is useful. I'll tell you how I discovered it in a moment, but first of all, I want to look for something easier first because I'm sure that we have beginners here today. So I'm just going to look for something, if there's any, find out if there's anything easier, but I have discovered another number that I could place. But I'd rather look for the easier things first if I can find any. Okay, this is a bit easier. 5 blocks across here, right? So 5 is in one of these two squares here, do you agree? So we extend it down. So this square down here can't possibly be 5. And now we have a 5 blocking across here like this. So in this square here, we only have a 5. In that, it could only be a 5, I should say. Okay, we have 6 blocking across here and 6 blocking across here. Now, because we've already placed these numbers, it's much easier now to find a number. So 6 goes there. I can place another 6, but I'm not, as I said, that's slightly more difficult. I'm going to get onto that in a minute. Now down here we've got 7 blocking across here, so now we can place the 7 there. And the one number we need to complete this block is a 4, so let's put a 4 there. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to find the next number. And it involves digits 3 and 9 and something that we looked at before. Okay, so this 3 and this 9, if you remember, block across here, meaning that 3 and 9 are in these squares here, right? So this square up here cannot be 3, cannot be a 9, because if the 3 is, okay, it's like this. If this is a 3, then this is a 9. If this is a 3, then this is a 9. So 3 and 9 are definitely blocking any other squares in this column. So this up here cannot be a 3 and cannot be a 9. Now we have 3 and 9 blocking across here as well. So that means in this block here, these two squares must contain 3 and 9. Okay? And then when we block across like so, and the 3 and 9 blocking across here like this, and have I made a mistake? I think I have. I don't think I can get it. 3 and 9 are up here. 3, I thought I'd discovered 3 and 9 in those squares, but actually the 9, hold on, 9, no, the 9 could possibly be like this down here, couldn't it? So not that one, but Oh dear, I've messed it up. Well, there you go. That's a good lesson to you. Yeah. Make sure you look carefully before you declare that you know how to do something. In my case, I thought I'd discovered something and had not. So anyway, I'm not disheartened. All I have to do now is look in other places, right? So let's examine this block up here, right? So what's missing now? So we don't have 2's yet. We have 2 blocking up here, so we know 2 is in this square or this square. We don't have 3 yet. 3 blocks down here, so we know 3 is in this square or this square. 7, look, this is what we look for. 7 blocking across here, so in fact we can place a 7 there. And now if you remember, I just said 2 blocks up here, so this has to be a 2. Okay, now we're making more sense. I do apologize. So the missing numbers here and here are 3 and 8. We have an 8 blocking here, so this is our 8, and this is our 3 then, and 3 blocks across here and across here, and this is our 3. Now if you remember, I said a long time ago we had our 9 and 3 blocking across here, so the 9 now blocks here, and this will be a 9. Right. Now we only have one number missing from this row here. The missing number is a 9, so we can place that now. We can get this number here. We can do it in 2 ways. We can either work out what these 2 numbers are, and then we'll need this number for the block, or we could work out what these numbers are, and then we'll need this number for the rest of the row. Right? So let's do it like this, because I want to know what these are. So the missing numbers up here are 2 and 5. They go in these 2 squares. We don't have any intersecting numbers here, so we don't know which is which. We have to leave them as 2 and 5 in 2 squares. But now we can find out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this has to be an 8 then. Now we can say 8 blocking down here, 8 across here, 8 goes there. And well, this has been an amazingly good game for a Tuesday because it's one of those games that forces you along a particular path, which are always the nicest to play, actually. Usually there are lots of openings, but not today. Only one way forward, it seems like that. Okay, missing number in this column is an 8, so we can place our 8 there now. Now, this number has to be an 8. Why? Because we've got 9 and 3 blocking up here, and 9 and 3 blocking across here. Now, I did get that far before, and I got that bit right. I just got it wrong when I tried to go further. So we know that these 2 squares contain only 9 or 3, nothing else. So now we can say 8 blocking across here, 8 blocking up here. We know that that has to be an 8. And now 8 blocks down here, and across here. So that is our 8 there. And we can finish the 8s off. There's only one more 8 to get in this puzzle. 8 blocking across like this, up here, and up here. And that is our first completed digit. It's taken a long, long time. Normally these games only take a short time. It's taken a long time to get the first finished number, which in this case is 8. Okay. Now, okay, I'm going to give you another thought. So 1 block's down here. So in this block here, where is the 1? It has to be in one of these 2 squares here. You agree? So that will block any other 1 across here. And then we can say 1 blocking down here and 1 blocking across here. So we can place our 1 there. And then when we consider these 3 squares here, 1 blocking down here, 1 blocking up here, that is our 1 there. Wow, this has been really a tough game for a Tuesday Guardian. Really a tough game. It's made me think all the way. Um, okay, so I said earlier on that these two have to be 3 and 9, if you remember, the 3 and 9 that block across here and up here. So if we know that these two squares are 3 and 9, we only have two squares left, which are not 3 or 9, but they must complete this block. So they're going to be 2 or 6. So we have a 6, oops, excuse me, a 6 blocking this square here. This can't be 6. So the 6 must go here, and the only other number left now is a 2. So 2 blocks down here, and the 2 will fit there. And for this column now, we're still lacking a 2. So we can put our 2 there. Then 2 blocking across here and across here means that is a 2. 2 blocks this square here. This is a 2. The last number that we need here is 5. 5 blocks up here, and across there. So that's our 5. 5 blocking across here and across here. And this is our 5 now. So you can see it gets a lot easier at this stage, right? Missing number here is a 7. 7 blocks down here, across here, and across here. So that's our 7. 5, 7, and 8 are now done. We now have 3 digits that are completed. Now we can see this 1 blocking across here like so, and across here. So that's all 1. And 1 blocking down here and down here, and 1 fits there. So that's also finished now. There's only 1 digit missing from this column. The missing number is, what are you? Come on. 3. Okay. 1 number missing across here. 6, I believe. And 1 number either from this block or from this column, same thing. It's going to be a 4. Okay, still fighting all the way to the end. What a great game this one's been from the Guardian. Normally it's just so easy, but no, not today. Really made me tough it out. There's 1 digit missing across here, and the missing number is a 4. Six blocks across here, 6 blocks down here, so that's a 6. And right to the end, it's making me just go in one direction. It's very good. 6 is blocking like that, so that's a 6 there. We can get this number because all we have to do is work out what's missing from here. 1, there's no 2 yet. Actually, we can get this number anyway. 2 blocks up here. We need a 2 for this row, so 2 goes there. Now we only have 1 number missing. The missing number is a 9. The missing number here is a 4. 4 now blocking down here and across here, so that's our 4. 1 number missing from this column, which is 9. 1 number missing down here, which is a 3. Then the 3 blocks this square here, so this will become a 3 and this will become a 9. And these two numbers that we worked out were 3 and 9 ages and ages ago are actually going to be the last ones that we place, but that's how the game goes. 3 blocks here, so this is our 3, and we can remember that 9 is our last number. So that took me a long time to go through. I'm not sure about you if you're a beginner. That may have taken quite a long time to play, because it took me a long time, because you were forced in a particular direction. Some games you play, there are many openings possible, and some games you play, there's only 1 opening that you can go in, or maybe 2 openings, but not more than that, and so they're much more difficult to find. So that was a lovely game from the Guardian. Thank you for their Tuesday game. Come back and join me for other Sudokus on this channel whenever you feel like it. Bye bye.